teenagers have always believed that nothing truly bad can happen to them. Cemeteries, especially, have a strange pull. Places meant for silence and respect, yet often treated as playgrounds for those seeking thrills. Emma and her friends had grown up near the old cemetery. They had passed it hundreds of times. In daylight, it felt harmless. At night, it felt forbidden. That was exactly why they went. That night, they didn't just wander. They laughed loudly. They mocked the graves. They dared each other to step deeper between the headstones. Emma noticed something others didn't. The way the air felt heavier the farther they walked. Sound seemed to dull. Even their laughter felt wrong, swallowed by the darkness. As they were leaving, Emma felt a sudden sharp sensation. The unmistakable feeling of being watched. She turned. Nothing. But the feeling stayed. Several days passed before anything happened. Emma woke suddenly, heart pounding. The room was silent. Too silent. Then she saw her. An elderly woman sat beside her bed. Not transparent, not distorted, solid, real. The woman didn't move, didn't blink. She simply watched Emma breathe. Emma wanted to scream, but her body wouldn't respond. Then the woman was gone. Emma convinced herself it was a dream. Until the woman appeared again, standing in the hallway in full daylight, floating slightly above the floor. Watching. Emma followed her once, her legs shaking, only to watch the figure vanish into the wall of her bedroom. This was no dream. Weeks became a chilling eternity. The ghostly woman appeared daily in Emma's home, a silent observer materializing without warning. Sometimes in the kitchen as a silent sentinel, other times near the stairs, barely visible in dim light. She stood just inside doorways, silently watching Emma's every move. Always watching, never speaking. A suffocating reminder she was never alone. Fear knotted in her stomach. Sleep became a battle. Emma slept with lights on to ward off the shadows. The kettle incident shattered the peace, the first undeniable act of aggression. As Emma reached for the kettle, an unseen force twisted her wrist unnaturally, shooting pain through her arm. Boiling water surged toward her skin. She screamed, dropping everything as it splashed close. No longer observation, this was intent. The entity now sought to harm and terrify. Desperate, Emma told her mother everything. Her mother listened, skeptical yet concerned. Unconvinced, she blamed stress or imagination, offering logical explanations, until she saw the woman herself in the hallway. Pure horror shattering her disbelief. The spectral figure stood ethereal and silent. The mother's disbelief turned to bone-chilling terror. The house turned against them, from subtle creaks to overt defiance. Doors jammed or slammed shut, held by an invisible hand, trapping them. Objects slid across tables, books fell from shelves, defying reason. The vacuum was ripped from the mother's hands, crashing down. Nothing was safe. At night, relentless dripping began. Slow, loud, echoing in the silence. A plumber found no leak. The house tormented them as a malevolent entity. Emma and her mother were trapped in a nightmare. Their home a haunted prison, wanting them gone. The dripping grew louder each night. It followed people through the house, sometimes above them, sometimes below. Always rhythmic, though always deliberate. Doctors found nothing wrong with Emma. Psychologists suggested stress. A priest visited once but left abruptly, refusing to return. Something in the house unsettled him deeply. One afternoon, Emma froze mid-sentence. Her voice changed. Her posture changed. She spoke of another life. France, the 1800s, medical practices, places she had never studied. Her father watched in horror. When she returned to herself, she remembered nothing. After the trance, Emma changed. Metal bent in her hands. Forks twisted, knives warped. This wasn't illusion. Others saw it too. The family fled. They left everything behind. The house stood empty, silent, waiting. Years later, Emma returned. The back door was broken. Inside, she picked up a fallen telephone. Cold fingers wrapped around her throat. She escaped, barely. Emma never visited a cemetery again. She never mocked the dead. She never ignored that feeling of being watched. Because she learned something the hard way. Sometimes when you disturb the dead, they don't stay behind. Some say spirits don't linger where bodies are buried. Emma's story suggests otherwise. Maybe it isn't the grave that matters. Maybe it's the invitation